Hello, bonjour everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my video, and special thanks for those who subscribe to my channel. Today's video will talk about transport with the infantry. So we get here some off-track from the German, the M3 for the American that were used by the British, by the Soviet at the same time, and some kangaroo by the British. What my suggestion of change for the transport with the infantry is nothing that I create. I'm going to just use the main rule book version 4 of Flames of War. To make my point with that, I'm going to just recommend you to go read page 27 of the main rule book that you can see on the screen, and page 101 of the main rule book, and you get attachment as well with further explanation how to handle both on the battlefield. As you can read, never there it said that the infantry and the transport need to be 6 inches apart maximum. They all both say that they can be separate when they enter the game or during the game. So where that come from? It come from add-on book that Flames of War or Battlefront wrote that special rules it. And they didn't just place the special rules in one book, and every book, regardless of the faction, they put that special rules. Because more than likely, someone cried that the Germans have half-track and they don't have for the British or for the Soviet, and it is unfair, he cannot win, he cannot figure out how to beat them. And once that is started, then the German will say the same thing when the opponent have the vehicle. If I cannot have them, they cannot have them. Then Battlefront start to write, and every add-on book, that little paragraph that said in special rules, unit leader cannot be separated to a maximum of 6 inches. So to make it simple, we just remove every those special rules in the game, and we keep exactly like the main core rule book from Battlefront, Flames of War version 4, and we apply the main rule book. Meaning, when they arrive, they can be together, they can be mounted, they can be separate during the game. They are 2 independent units. Because the problem we have is every time they need a cross-check, because the infantry just walk through the forest, the attack need to drive through and do a cross-check. And when trying to do a cross-check, it can be more difficult for some country compared to the others. The German cross on the 3, the kangaroo late war only for the British on the 3, the M3 half-track for the American is on the 4. The British use the half-track too, it's on the 4. And the Soviet is crossed on the 5. So now we're really talking absolutely no use to have the half-track with your infantry, because the infantry will cross the fence here and no cross-check, but the M5 would need a 5 to cross. So they will basically do not cross or take a long time. So you're going to keep the infantry across waiting that all 3 vehicles cross. Probably not. It will move forward and they would be sent to the rear. And it's the same for every transport. To make it really easy, take the rule book, what it said on page 27 and 101. They can be separated. They function as normal as 2 units, but they belong only to 1 infantry unit on the table, the one they arrive together. And for the rest, with transport, they have to be like 4 inches from them to mount on. So on their movement, the infantry can jump on the half-track here, and then the movement of the half-track can move. If the infantry have to move toward the half-track, then the next turn after that, they would be able to jump on and the half-track to move. Or the other option is the half-track move to the infantry on their movement, jump onto the half-track, and the next turn, the half-track can move. As it said on the book 2, the infantry cannot jump on the half-track on the movement, and then the half-track move, and on the same turn, the infantry disembark. It's not allowed, so you cannot move that. It's all in the book. I don't write it. I just use exactly what Battlefront intend to do with the transport. I thought to change the rule to say they can assault with the half-track by jumping off and just making the assault. But it's not in the book. There's no reason. And later on in late war, they have those tank riders that can assault contact by jumping off the vehicle and if they are less than 4 inches from the enemy assault, we're going to just apply that rule as Flames of War wrote it. So to conclude, we just play the main rule book. We don't play any add-on about half-track and transportation. So they arrive in the battlefield like the main rule book, together or separate. They can be mounted, unmounted, one's on the table. If they dismount, both are on their own. They don't need to be together. They need only one unit of infantry can use the half-track, the unit it belongs to. And when they get separated, nobody is sent to the rear. Really simple. I'm just following the Battlefront rule book. So that's it for this video. Tell me what you think down below. It makes sense to use the main rule book and remove the add-on that say they cannot be separated more than 6 inches, because nobody uses it for that reason. They want to cross-check and they get separated right away, sent to the rear. So you waste your point. So with this, just following the main rule book, they can be together and move the infantry, or they can be separate and do their own thing. So thank you for watching. Look forward to read your comments down below. Thanks again. Bye-bye.